Boot up the stream, energy's clean. Chat going crazy, you know what I mean. No crash, no jitters, I'm locked in the zone. Dubby in my cup, yeah, I'm bad to the bone. Pixel explosions, boss fights lit. Grinding with the crew, never gonna quit. From grounded to power, we take that crown. Chaos Center 3, shut the server down. Feel the chaos lighting up tonight. Dubby in my system, I'm ready to fight. Raise your hands, let's ignite the scene. We're streaming with the madness, living the dream. Dubby in my system, I'm ready to fight. Raise your hands, let's ignite the scene. We're streaming with the madness, living the dream. No filler, no sugar, straight raw power. Dubby got me climbing higher every hour. Fly, flubble in the back with the jokes. Zaraki on the mic, crowd going broke. Frames per second, smooth like glass. Drop another dub, put the haters on blast. This ain't luck, this skill's insane. Chaos Sim's name, gonna rule the game. Feel the chaos light it up tonight. Dubby in my system, I'm ready to fight. Raise your hands, let's ignite the scene. We're streaming with the madness, living the dream. Energy surge, never slowing down. Cat explodes, hear the hype all around. Level up, yeah, we're breaking the screen. This is the power of Chaos in 13. Dubby in my system, I'm ready to fight. Dubby in my system, I'm ready to fight. Raise your hands, let's ignite the scene. We're streaming with the madness, living the dream. Chaos, E13, Dubby in my bloodstream. Chaos, E13, full of chaos, live the dream. Chaos, M13, Dubby in my bloodstream. Boot up the stream, energy's clean. Chat go crazy, you know what I mean. No crash, no jitters, I'm locked in the zone. Dubby in my copy, I'm back to the bone. Pixel explosions, boss fights lit. Riding with the crew, never gonna quit. From grounded to bell, but we take that crown. Gas and third train, shut the server down. Feel the chaos lighting up tonight. Dubby in my system, I'm ready to fight. Raise your hands, let's ignite the scene. We're streaming with the madness, living the dream. No filler, no sugar, straight raw power. Dubby got me climbing higher every hour. Flop blue in the back with the jokes. Zaraki on the mic, car going broke. Frames per second, smooth like glass. Jump another dub, put the haters on blast. This ain't luck, this skill's insane. Chaos Sim's name, gonna rule the game. Feel the chaos light it up tonight. Dubby in my system, I'm ready to fight. Raise your hands, let's ignite the scene. We're streaming with the madness, living the dream. Energy surge, never slow it down. Cat explodes, hear the hype all around. Level up, yeah, we're breaking the screen. This is the power of Chaos in 13. Energy surge, never slowing down. Cat explodes, hear the hype all around. Level up, yeah, we're breaking the screen. This is the power of Chaos in 13. Feel the chaos light it up tonight. Dubby in my system, I'm ready to fight. Raise your hands, let's ignite the scene. Streaming with the legends, Chaos reigns supreme. Chaos in 13. Dubby in my bloodstream. Chaos in 13. Feel the chaos, live the dream. Chaos, M13, Dubby in my bloodstream. Boot tonight. Dubby in my system, I'm ready to fight. Raise your hands, let's ignite the scene. Streaming with the legends, chaos reigns supreme. Chaos in the 30. Dubby in my bloodstream. Chaos in the 30. Fuel the chaos, live the dream.
That's right, guys. We are back at it again for another day. What is it, Thursday? Weekend Eve? Weekend Eve of Labor Day? Yeah. Hopefully everybody's having that 3-day weekend. Gonna get out there, enjoy yourself. Throw some... I mean, if you want to be, one of those weirdos that puts food on a grill and not a Blackstone griddle, I guess you can do that. One of those lesser people. No, I'm just kidding. But, we are back here. As you can see. Yep, right there. Dubby. We're doing a W opening. Just got it, the content creator box from them. Right there. Right there. No. Right there. Yeah, right there. So we're going to be doing that opening tonight. See what's inside there. I'm sure there's some fun little goodies, some good stuff in there. But remember, you got to stay hydrated out there. You got to stay focused. You gotta get your energy up. You never know when you might just need that just burst of energy out of nowhere. So, if you're needing that burst of energy, that focus, my glasses are driving me nuts right now. I'm sorry. Anyways, need that burst of energy, need that hydration. Even if you don't need that even if you don't even need that caffeine, you can get caffeine free. No caffeine, but you need that hydration. Hydrate. You gotta hydrate. And you need that focus. Go ahead and grab you some Dubby. Grab it. Get it. Use code M13. Get 10% off your order. That saves you a lot. Get you your shipping. You don't want to, who wants to pay shipping nowadays? You know how expensive shipping is nowadays? Expensive. Beyond expensive. For shipping. But, anyways, let's get into this opening. Let's see what little goodies they sent in this little baggie here. No addresses, of course. Can't see that. Alright. Let me back this up. Squatch. My kid said I look like that today. Nice and easy open. Let me see. The shaker. I actually love the colors. This was just randomly sent, but if I would have gotten the green, you know what I'm saying? Seems pretty sturdy. Got the shaker in there. Your normal plastic smell. See what else we got. So, oh, okay. Alright, let's go. Let's go. Okay. Okay, so these are actually something that they have going on special right now. These are their Dubby solo leveling sets. Limited edition. On their website. You have the Shadow Monarch Surge, which is a blue, raspberry, purple grape. Sounds pretty good. And then The Aguirre Strike. Which this one I actually wanted. I was hoping they would send this one to me. It's a blue tropical punch. So I'm hoping it's kind of like a blue raspberry taste to it, but we'll see. I think I'm gonna try that one this one tonight. What else I got in here? Oh, just like I was saying. Caffeine free hydration. I'm assuming I haven't tried these yet, but I work outside on a daily basis. And there's strawberry, pineapple, and pineberry. Okay. Oh no, the same thing. Strawberry, pineapple. But they're 0 sugar, and they're just like hydrate. See? Dubby. Hydrate. Need some hydration? Hydrate. And then they're little samplers, which are pretty cool. Because they give you nice little. This is like one of these alone is one full drink, so you can like do one of these, boom, drink over. It actually feels like you can almost get 2 out of this. No, it says 1, but I mean for the amount that's in there, it kind of feels like there's a decent amount in there. But we got the Galaxy Grenade, watermelon, guava, and lime. Oh, that actually sounds fire. Guava, I don't know, like if you're not a guava person, guava slaps. I've never had an issue with guava. This is Dragon Star and pink strawberry lemon. Oh man. I don't know. This one might be a new favorite. Dragonade. And this one's mango white peach. Mango slaps. White peach. But I've actually had like another peach from another brand that was actually really good that I was shocked at. Because I'm not a big peach person. But this one actually, they slap pretty much. They slap when I had it. See what else. This is probably going to be something for my kids. Just realistic. Let's see. Except for maybe one of them. Oh, no way. These are actually pretty dope. So it's like Goku. Dubby Goku. I'm not saying I'm a Dragon Ball Z fanboy or anything. I mean, it's totally not Dragon Ball Z all up there. You know, totally not that. But those are pretty dope. It's a cool little logo, cool little one. Reminds me of like those like 90s tattoos they used to get in like the little machines, the quarter machines. It's pretty dope. This one's pretty. This one gives me that UCF vibes to it. You know, be better. Remember, you don't need that crap, all those chemicals and stuff. No artificial dyes, none of that. This looks pretty cool too. Pretty cool. Oh yeah, this is definitely like a 90s tattoo right there. That's definitely a 90s tattoo right there. It's a cool little vibe to it. But I know my daughters love stickers, so these will be somewhere in our house. I might put one of them on the side of my PC. But yeah, I'm actually pretty hyped. I just signed with Dubby less than like 2 weeks ago. They've been super nice as far as like the way that they do the programs and everything else. A little cue card. But it definitely looks like they take care of their creators. I haven't seen really. I personally haven't seen any complaints as far as them. And I've talked to multiple people as far as the taste of their stuff. Um, if they actually have that down feeling after drinking it after a couple hours or something like that. I haven't noticed anybody say anything bad about it. Compared to like your energy drinks, your typical energy drinks, Monster, Red Bull, and stuff like that. I know when I used to drink Monster, I used to have a crash like crazy. But like these, I've done other energy supplements before, and I don't get a crash. It's way better than like your Monsters and stuff like that. I would definitely, if you're a hardcore Monster guy, I would definitely recommend getting off that shit. Get off of it. Switch over to Dubby. Use my code. You don't need those white monsters anymore. I see you out there. But let's get into this. Actually, give me 1 second. I'm gonna go clean this real quick. Alright, my bad. Hey, thanks for the follow, old Loose Neutral. What's up, buddy? Alright, which one did I say? Not the blue raspberry. Once again, check that out. If you're a solo leveling fan, which I know there's a lot of people out there that are, go check that out. How does one open a container? Yeah, those are pliers. They work. It's got a good smell to it. Oh, it's definitely got to be like blue raspberry flavor. It smells so good though. Yeah, I'm feeling it. No, I'm just kidding. So this is a blue tropical punch. And it's like 1 scoop. That's all you need. Don't exceed 2 a day. Or you become a crackhead. smell. Let's get a good smell here. Oh, we can't. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Totally not product placement. That's what you need right there. If you need that little bit of, I mean, I don't need it right now. Let's be realistic. I don't need that rush right now, but it's definitely one that needs some energy, some hydration. Is that what you need right now? Because I feel like you need that. You need some energy. Use code IMP13. Go get you some Dubby. Get that energy that you need. But anyways, shout out to Dubby. Appreciate all the help and appreciation. Appreciate that. Appreciate the appreciation for the appreciation. But we're gonna get into. I was gonna do a little bit of gaming tonight, but my homies are. I'm not sure what they're doing right now. I thought I saw one of them on, I think, but I'm not 100% sure. I think the other one was sleeping, so. But just in that situation, I also thought, you know what? I can do some commentary. We did it last night we took off. So, yeah, we took off last night. So tonight, do a little commentary. Tomorrow, not sure what we're doing tomorrow. We might do some little bit of, go back and do some Halo. And then Saturday, we do, at least I plan on, finishing out the Grounded 2 content that's been released so far. So let's swap over to that content, to some commentary real quick. We're gonna go back over recently. I'm not sure if everybody's caught up with well, you know, the stuff that's been going on. Raja Jackson assaulting Psycho Stu in the ring, beating him in the face 23 times, sending him to the hospital, which thankfully Stu's on the mend and recovering, sitting up and, you know, going in a positive direction rather than the way that most people thought he was going to go. But I've got two, one of it's a full podcast, but we're not going to cover the whole thing, and it's definitely going to be sped up. From AJ Mana, who was one of the people that was related or had some doing in having Raja there. So apparently he has a big old crash out in this and loses his mind over, you know, everything, which, you know, I guess I can understand, you know, he didn't do anything, but people were blaming him for a lot. And then I've also got more from the Epic. He sat down and did more of like a in-depth or a more personal version, a more personal sit down with just himself when it came to him talking about everything going on. So let's hop into that and let's check it out.
The real fucking story.
All right, into it.
AJ Mana is here. I've been knowing him for quite a few years now, and I have known nothing but good from this young man. He's here. He was fucking there. Raja was his guest, and he's going to explain to you in his own words what the fuck really happened.
All right, before AJ, before I let you go, let me let all the people that's in the live stream know if you got any comments, any questions. If we have time, we'll get to those. Leave those in the comment section. Also, super chats are open. If you want to donate to the show, hit the super chat button. You can donate to the show. We appreciate all the support you guys show to F Y'all podcast. Let's get all that out the way. But right now, AJ, before we do anything, like Pop said, at the end of the day, all me and CT got is opinions. All everybody else has is fucking opinions.
Yeah.
You were actually there. Raja was a guest of yours, so I want you to talk about that. Honestly, talk about whatever you're comfortable with talking about, but this is your story, and I want you to tell it.
Well, I'll start off with an old saying we all are very familiar with. Opinions are a lot like assholes. Everybody's got one, and they all stink.
Okay. First of all, you can already tell it's going to be some bullshit starting out like that. Just because you can already tell that there's going to be no blame taken and there's going to be projection. Just the way I look at it. Oh, I forgot the transition. There we go.
Let's just clean them up and deal with the facts. So my standpoint is I'm not dealing with anything with regard to speculation, rumor, hearsay, anything of that nature. I will deal only with my personal experience. I will deal only with the facts as I witnessed them and as I acted, as whatever came out of my mouth, wherever these 2 feet went, and whatever I was involved in, guess what? In a video that was.
And essentially, what you're saying is, this is my truth. I'm going to tell you my truth.
Over an hour long, hour and 30 minutes, hour and 20 minutes, whatever it was. In that entire video, you will only see my ass 8 minutes. 8 fucking minutes was my activity in that entire thing. I had the least amount of involvement in this shit. However, I'm taking the most of the heat for it because what's happening, I won't get too deep into family ties and shit like that, but it's very obvious. It's easy to go ahead and throw me under the bus. Very
AJ, before you go on, let me let the people in the comment, because a comment just popped up, and let me say this: if you go come in here and talk shit, I will boot your ass right out of this live stream. Let's make that real clear.
Okay, and right there, that just tells you're weak as fuck and you're weak as hell that you can't take. I don't give a shit what my audience says to me. Call me an asshole, call me a dick, I don't give a fuck. I really don't care. If you're gonna sit there and boot people because they're giving their opinion on the way that they see the situation, you're just goofy. Goofy as fuck.
You calling somebody a punk and all of that shit, fuck that. You will get your ass booted out of here real quick.
straight up.
Go ahead, Adrian.
I'm a very humble, kind, and respectful man. I stand by a moral code, not just from that stems from the Marine Corps, stems from my upbringing as a fucking man. One thing I am not gonna ever do is double cross another man. One thing I will never do is set up another man. What you don't know about AJ Mana, what you don't know about fucking Andre, fuck the gimmick. Fuck the gimmick. This is Andre talking, nigga. You don't like that I say nigga? Guess what? I'm from Compton. I left
Loudest in the room is never always right.
Compton when I was 12. I was adopted into a Samoan family. You know why? I don't know my father. I fucking hardly even knew my mother. Yeah, I'm a nigga. Didn't know that, huh? AJ Mana, That's a fucking moniker. That's a gimmick. Nigga, this is Andre. My life is ruined because of your speculation. My life is ruined, and you know who you are because you decided to throw me under the bus to protect your own image, to protect what you perceive to be your own good name, when your name really ain't shit to nobody no more. Because the facts are out there. And I'm not afraid of you motherfuckers anymore. I've been afraid of you for 6 fucking years. I'm not fucking afraid of you anymore. You know who I'm talking to. Like I said, nigga, this is Andre talking.
And see, this is, I mean, other than legal issues, I don't understand why he won't speak out. If he's no longer with this company, depending on if they have a gag order on him or not, but I'm assuming not because so far we haven't seen anything legal as far as what's going on. But this is just me assuming. Why isn't he out here talking about who it is? Put the names out there. What's stopping you from being that way? Just saying it.
So let me start from the very first fucking 5 seconds of that video. Raja, who is a teammate of mine, who is the son of Quentin Rampage Jackson. The man, not a character, not what was worked into a fucking storyline. Like I said, let's deal with the facts. Fact, he was a guest. I didn't bring him to the show. I was a part of the show. Fact, I am not a promoter. Dumbasses, I am a talent. Fact, it wasn't even my idea to have a storyline with Raja. Why? I have no creative control. I don't own the fucking company. I carried out what was told to me to fucking do. Fact, I was unaware that by carrying out what I was told to do, I would then be scapegoated to protect them. Okay. Raja gets to the door. Unbeknownst to whoever was working security, again, and I'm not gonna do names. That's what I'm not gonna do. The way
Why
I
not?
come up, you don't name drop.
Why
You
not
just spit
put-
facts. Y'all do.
Okay, it just bothers me so much. You're saying I'm spitting facts. Then spit the names. Say who it is. Be honest. Who is it that you're talking about? Quit being afraid to say it and just say it. So people aren't speculating the whole time. They're not questioning you. They're just like, oh, okay, I guess it is this person.
Fucking put 2 and 2 together on the own. So, homeboy didn't know that I had spotted a VIP ticket for Raja. There's always been discrepancies when it comes to this ticket sale shit. I've always had a good amount of people support me. For some fucking reason, the numbers just never seem to add up. Gee, I wonder why. Could it be my pockets were always empty as y'all's were really filled? Do I really need to get into that? Nah, we're dealing with facts, right? Okay, so for some reason or another, his name went on the list. So guess what? I forked up another $30 to get his fucking name on the VIP list. Why? Because unbeknownst to the production, at the time, the day prior, there was a meeting with myself, Raja, and his pops about beginning a collaboration as they are doing this, what you call this shit, dude? This live stream shit.
Okay.
What was
Yeah,
that?
it was kick live stream.
Right? Hey, that's what it was. Well, it turns out they had millions of followers. This shit was popping. Rampage said to me, you know what? I see you've been working hard to get your name out there, but this fucking something just ain't clicking. Like, people know who you are, but, bro, like, if you get on this stream shit with us, like, people gonna talk shit. And they did. People gonna talk shit, and, you know, they gonna fucking, they gonna rage bait you and all that. But just, you know, just be cool about it, and, you know, people, your following will go up. And it
Yeah,
did.
it's called the
It
internet.
really did. So,
It's literally called the internet. If you're not ready to be rage baited, if you're not ready to be trolled, if you're not ready to be called out, if you're worried about being called names and everything else like that, you shouldn't be on the internet. I'm sorry. You just get off. Because it doesn't work that way. You can't just be like, oh, well, I want my safe space. There's no safe space on the internet.
then we started talking about, okay, what if we bring this stream over to Nox Pro? It'll be good for them and it'll be good for you. Raja was there on business. Raja wasn't there. And look, that leads me to the can. We'll get to that. If y'all out here trying to say this whole thing was a work, this whole thing from the jump was a part of a storyline that went wrong, that's bullshit. And for those that this may upset, I'm dealing in facts, right? I'm not going to perpetuate the bullshit that you want me to put out there. Well, I can't say put out there because most of you told me to shut the fuck up and not say anything and let it die out. No, you didn't want this to die out. You wanted me to fucking die. That's what you wanted. That's why you wanted me to say nothing. And thank God for people like CT that saw through the bullshit. There was no storyline because Raja wasn't there to be a part of the show. Raja was a guest. Raja was my VIP. Raja was there for business. I then get Raja to the fucking locker room, introducing him to the owner/promoter, whose name I will not mention. He knows who the fuck he is, and that's all that matters.
If you want to find out, Google the shit.
Yeah. I'm not the owner or the promoter. Let's make that clear. I'm the talent. Was. No, fucks. Introduce him. Now, on my way to introducing him to the owner, I bypassed several wrestlers, several people, several others that were not talent in that locker room. We're talking about outside the fucking venue, a locker room setup outside, okay? For those that wanted to pander to this idea of this 1980s mentality of kayfabe, kayfabe is dead, bitches. I don't know if you're aware. The curtain was pulled back long ago, so stop trying to use that kayfabe bullshit.
I mean, yeah, social media definitely killed the kayfabe of wrestling. That and all the wrestling magazines that I do not understand how they still hang around.
All right? And then if you want to talk about kayfabing the fucking boys in the locker room and all that shit, well, don't have your wife in there. Don't have your mama in there. Don't have your girlfriend in there. Don't have your nieces and your nephews and shit in there. They did. But let me bring somebody in that's there for business. That don't really look like everybody else that was in there. Oh, we got a problem. Yeah. That part.
So I want to ask plainly and clearly, in particular about the wrestler that said that he thought that Raja was talent or worker.
I made it very clear who Raja was from the jump. In fact, I introduced Raja before he even fucking walked up into that general vicinity as being the son of Rampage and a live streamer who is currently rolling right now. Rolling, yeah, his camera's on as he is live right now. Is that okay?
So this is something that I kind of had an issue with. So he's saying that Raja was rolling already. Now, if you go back to any of the footage that Raja had out on his live stream, there was nothing where AJ said anything about who he was. He never made a comment about, oh, this is Rampage's son. Until they got to Stu.
Okay. Oh, yeah, his dad's who? Oh, Rampage? Oh, yeah. Hey, tell him to bring his dad too. Get his dad over here. This is great. It's good for us. Good for business. It's good for all of us. Go ahead, record whatever you want. And tell me if I'm fucking lying. As the Lord God Almighty is my witness, there will not be a lie that comes out of my mouth. That part. So we get past that. All of that is ascertained.
And sir, you have to say that part to something you say. No, people say that to you. They say, oh, that part. Not, yeah.
He is there on business or for business. Not to do business in the show. To promote the show. To promote me. To promote himself. It was a cross-collaborative agreement.
Mm-hmm.
Simple as that. Which leads into the next detail. Who are you? What are you doing here? Type shit. The bullying. I'm not going to expound too much on that because it's very fucking sensitive right now, considering the fact that one of my brothers is currently in the hospital. Yeah, I said it. My brother. He's got the same fucking tattoo on his fucking forearm because he's a cowboy from the fucking 06 Reds, just like myself. Y'all want to suggest that somehow I would set up my own brother? Y'all want to push this fucking narrative that me, not the gimmick, the fucking human being.
Yes, that's a good question. So they made it into a work after the altercation.
After the altercation, yes, sir.
Mm-hmm.
After the fact. Now let me get to that. Y'all saw the fucking video. I don't even know why there's like questions about this. It is so cut and dry. It's so obvious. But y'all let these celebrities fucking get on here that you've been working out for fucking years. And this guy's like the fuck out of you. The proof is in the fucking pudding. Yes, he went too fucking far. We don't have to ascertain whether or not he went too far. We're not there yet. Like I said, I'm going to take you through every fucking experience I had. I'm trying to absolve myself right now of these false allegations that I somehow, what was the term? I prompted
or somehow was
attempted, attempted murder, an accessory to attempted murder.
Now,
that's a very fucking serious allegation.
AJ said that we no way condone
Unaliving, you can't say that anymore. Unaliving.
all the actions of Raja. Now, I don't condone everything he done, but there's more to the story than you know.
That's why this conversation is so important.
Which is why Pops hit me up like, get your ass to my house. Because I tried. Like I said, I was told to keep my mouth shut. So I tried to handle it in-house. Most of the entire fucking group is pointing fingers at me saying, that's your boy, you're responsible for it. I am not responsible for what another grown-ass man decides to do. I'm not. If I have a brother who decides to break into someone else's house and shit in their kitchen sink, is that my responsibility? That would be theirs. Although there is a connection, their actions are not mine. Their actions, I do not pay for it. Again, I don't condone it, but I'm not liable.
Exactly.
No. Was there a waiver signed for my match? Was there a waiver signed for any fucking match that I've been in the past 6 fucking years? We're dealing in facts now. Waiver? Really? You guys saw the fucking video. This is my frustration. Was there a waiver? You saw everything in the video. That camera never stopped rolling. That camera was on me the entire time. To protect me and to protect Raja. To prevent bullshit speculation. The part in the fucking segment, as this was a vignette, unbeknownst to you motherfuckers that are saying that I put a hit out on him, you didn't know that was a part of the fucking storyline, did you? No. I'm jumping ahead because I'm frustrated. Check it out.
I'll take your time, brother.
We had already introduced the owner and Raja.
Now I will say that people did assume that AJ put a hit out on him. Like the Epic made the comment that, or Doug made the comment that AJ put this hit out on Stu. And yeah, I don't know if I fully, realistically, I don't agree with that. I don't think he would, like, it's just goofy that he would put a hit out on Stu. That's one of those, that is one thing that I disagreed with Doug or the Epic on. I didn't think that was, it's not realistic. Like, it's not realistic that this guy would do it. I mean, just looking at it as it is.
Raja recognized some of the talent because Raja has been following my career since I fucking started in professional wrestling. You know why? Because it was Raja. It was Pop here. It was my aunts. It was Rampage that pulled up to my very first fucking wrestling match 6 years ago. So there was certain talent there in the locker room. Raja's like, oh shit, you're this, you're such and such. Oh shit, you're such and such. And then up walks someone. Don't worry about them. You know who I am? Oh no, I don't know who you are. Oh, you should. I'm such and such. I don't know what the fuck that is. Ha! Need I say more? That wasn't a work. That wasn't a fucking storyline. That was a fucking shoot.
Mm-hmm.
For those that are offended at the fact that I just told the truth, fuck you. Because now my fucking life is ruined over your lies. So fuck you.
Before you tell your story, before we went live, you were talking. I mean, if you're okay talking about just how this has impacted your life, your personal life.
I got a call from my fucking job. We saw the TMZ video. You're an accessory to an attempted murder. We gotta let you go. I can't fucking wrestle anymore. I'm gonna pay my fucking bills because y'all niggas want clickbait.
So clearly, the one point that I really want to overemphasize is that he knew beforehand that Raja was not a worker. He was not a worker. He knew that beforehand. But if you just look at the video, it looks like, oh, I didn't know. I'm sorry, I didn't know. But from somebody that was there, that's not the truth.
Yep, and that's hearing that side of the story is the part that I really have issue with now.
And see, this is where, me personally, I want to see more than one of these people come out. Even though right now the company, school, whatever, Knox is telling people not to talk about anything or speak on anything. So realistically, we have his side of the story. The Epic or Doug spoke about the stuff in ring and when it was happening to Stu. So we don't have anything from him about before that. So I would like to see, I mean, this is just me. I would like to see other parts of this story from these other, the other talent about what happened up to where Stu was. Because otherwise, nothing's gonna change where the story is. Because realistically, AJ could be telling the truth that everybody knew that Raja wasn't talent. He was just there to be there. And before anybody thinks like, oh, you're defending Raja, I'm not defending Raja. That's a grown man. But as far as AJ, I'm not really defending. I'm not defending him, and I don't think he put out a hit on Stu. I don't. But I also, from the video, realistically from the video, I didn't see AJ run out there to stop Raja. So that's just what I'm going on right now. I would like to see other people from before the instance that's shown, the video that is shown. I would love to see what other wrestlers, or superstars, or a talent, what they said and what was said before then.
Cover for y'all, but when one of your so-called boys is getting fucking buried, radio silence. Didn't nobody fucking stand up for me. Didn't nobody fucking defend me, so fuck y'all.
Hold on, I'm trying to pull
Court what? I'm prepared for that too. Oh, what I can prove? Hey, guess what? I got all the footage, dumbasses. Y'all got the edits. I have the originals. Oh, yeah. I can't wait for court. Trust me. Counter-suing, bitch. Counter-suing, by the way. Damn good word.
Now, with you, Kong, I agree. Like, before I had my initial opinions on the shit that I saw, the clips I saw. And my thing, I said from the jump, I was like, hey, I don't know how this dude is going to escape any kind of jail time. They said the LAPD is investigating this whole situation. I just don't see how, because honestly, the slam,
I like this fucking going, bro.
yeah, the initial slam looked like it knocked him out.
My whole fucking life is ruined, man.
Why would you
From the
tell
initial slam, it looked like it was knocked out.
to go in there and get your, you know, your payback and your receipt, knowing that he's not a pro wrestler, he don't know how to fake this shit. I mean, somebody got to be, you know, you can't do that. You just,
And that's where the promotion is going to be held. And that's where the promotion is going to be held negligent for that, because you, again, me growing up a wrestling fan, if I'm sitting next to AJ and he said, because AJ, let me ask you this: when you told him to give the receipt, you flat out just said what a receipt was, so he knew what it was, right?
He said he knew about the receipt. Yes,
The receipt, you explained to him how the receipt works.
Yeah. But then, like, okay, so, excuse me. This is what we call a work shoot. So a work shoot is you take something real and you work it into the actual segment to blur the lines between falsehood and reality. So what I was doing in that video was a work shoot. I took a real situation and I flipped it, right, to make it a part of the show. So you'll see in the video where we're laughing. We got past all the bullshit and we all okay. And then I was like, man, you know, fucked up, because now we got to bring in Rampage. You know, Rampage know what that is, fucking son, you know, and then we're laughing. And then I went from laughing to pissed because the camera was still rolling. So I'm like, fuck, I got to work the camera, right? So then I'm like, remember what a receipt is? I'm in character. Remember what a receipt is? Fuck the receipt, man. Fucking, I'm telling him. Give him one. Give it to him fucking hard. If anybody got a fucking problem with it, I'm gonna be there. Nigga, I ain't gonna be there. I wasn't even in that when I'm working this storyline.
Put that other question back up, Mike. Can you?
Which one?
One was in yellow.
So I'll just keep. I wasn't even gonna be involved.
Yeah, this
when I figured out, like, from a vet to a vet. Okay, can I say something?
Yes, go ahead.
I was out of the fucking.
Okay. Nah, never mind.
Building. I didn't even know this shit was happening. I wasn't in the building. Watch the footage. Don't pull that vet shit with me. I wasn't anywhere around.
Is it your fault? But still, court is a bitch. No disrespect.
Court is a bitch, especially when it comes to counterclaims and falsehoods and bearing false witness under oath. You're fucking right. It is a bitch. And guess who's gonna come out on top? God's chosen, motherfucker.
Damn right.
What's the next question? Mike, what's the next one you pulled up?
Hold on. There's a whole bunch of them here.
He's really heated.
Try to
Look at
explain
him.
something to ignorant motherfuckers. They just won't accept it. They want to stick with the bullshit narrative because all you like is fucking rage bait, click bait. Might as well just go masturbate.
Those are baits.
A lot of baits. Just baiting this, baiting that. Don't want to deal with facts, dude. Y'all are fucking funny as fuck.
He's probably not arrested. Because it seems like it's like deep-seated.
This is my thing. We don't know what was going
Yeah,
through his head at the time.
see this right here, this comment. I'm not gonna fucking disrespect you. Liam, that's not what I'm here for. But comments like that is speculatory. Like I said, I don't want to deal with speculation. I don't want to deal with any rumor. I just want to deal with the facts. Just facts. That's all.
This comment here.
Okay, but there's no fact. Like, he really hasn't put. My thing is when it comes to when they say facts, these facts, then put your receipts. I know that you can't put everything out there because you're going to go to court, but in the court of public opinion right now, you look like an asshole. At least drip feed some of these fucking people on the internet that are looking at it, because you have people like Asmongold, Tectone. I mean, look, Night Talk, 111,000 views. And his video is literally called "This is Disgusting." I mean, put something out there so it doesn't look like, because I mean, the way he's acting right now, he looks erratic. I understand he's upset that, his career's over, which I mean could be true, could not be true. If it's, if he ends up going to court and they say, you're not even related to this, there's nothing, you weren't in the like he said, he wasn't in the building. If he wasn't in the building and it was everything that he did was before and he left, how is he accessory to murder or attempted murder? Sorry, he's not. So why not clear? This isn't clearing his name. It's not making him look any better. To be honest, with him rocking back and forth in the chair, it makes him look like he's crazy.
How's he throwing his coworkers under the bus by speaking the truth?
No, really. It's me and them, bitch. You're fucking right. I'm sing like a fat bitch in church. You got a problem with it? Yeah. Oh, yeah, I'm telling it all. Got a problem with it? It's me or them, nigga. You're not going to take my fucking life. I ain't ready to go. Now what?
So, Knox Pro Wrestling was attached to WWE through the WWE ID program. That's how they're attached.
So,
yeah.
So, do you know I had attachments to my fucking gimmick? Do you know anything that I had attached to my name that I've lost? Fuck all. Fuck all.
All right. Also, before we do anything else, I think it's fair that we give an update on how Psycho Student Gentleman involved in how he's doing in the hospital. And his brother put out a statement today and said, let me find it here real quick. This is from Andrew Smith, who is Stuart Smith's brother. He said, "Good morning. Thank you for the outpouring of support. Stuart is conscious and does have some recollection of the events from the day of the attack."
Praise God for that.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, what I want is a fucking peaceful resolution to it all. We're not justifying anything.
Yeah.
I'm just giving the facts. For y'all that can't accept the facts, that ain't my fucking problem.
Yep. So he says also, thank you to everyone for reaching out. It's been difficult to get back to everyone individually. We will be setting up something for anyone who wishes to donate. I will update when the time is right. He's currently resting and says thank you for all the love and support. So I just want to give an update. He is conscious. They say he's still in pretty bad condition though, so he still has a long road to recovery. And like AJ and like CT said, in no way, shape, or form are we having this discussion to justify what the fuck happened.
There is no justification here.
Exactly.
We're not even talking about Raja. We're talking about my experience. And I'm sorry.
And when it comes to Stu having, so Stu said he had no recollection of after, you know, the initial double leg into the ground slam. No recollection after that is what's been reported. But he would have an idea of what happened before all that stuff went down. So, you know, him walking up and saying, all right, yo, this guy's not... Obviously, Stu didn't know he was... I mean, from the video that's shown, Stu has no clue that he is a... that Raja wasn't a superstar or a worker that night. Obviously, he didn't know. But that's just gone in the assumption of the video that was shown. I mean, he could have told him, and I mean, I have seen people saying, like, you know, I think it was, I want to say Mark Henry. Mark Henry made the comment about, you know, why are these guys drinking before the show and everything else? Which, you know, me personally, I think if you're in that kind of situation and you're an athlete like that, I don't think you should, like, especially some of the stuff that those guys have to do. There's no way that you should be drinking, or I know wrestlers do, and I know they've worked on cutting back on that kind of stuff as far as, like, you know, doing the drugs and everything else like that. They've cut back, they've tried to cut back on that, so there's less liabilities and less injuries and stuff like that, and less fatalities. But, I mean, Knox is a small promotion, so who knows their policies on that kind of stuff. I mean, I have no clue. But, I mean, realistically, if those people were out there drinking and everything else, maybe after their match, cool. But if I mean, the way it looked is those were, I mean, the video that they showed of the first interaction with Stu seemed earlier in the day, and then the event was later that night. So there was periods of time between then that, yeah, you could have sobered up a little bit, but not enough. If you were drinking and everything like that, and you were supposed to be wrestling that night, there's no way that you're clearing yourself up that fast. Just not happening. So, once again, I don't believe AJ's done any wrong here. And I don't believe he should have lost his career over this. Just because he made the comments of, you know, you gotta give him a receipt. But I think he should, if he's innocent of everything that he's saying, put it out there, man. Show it. Like, hey, look, this is what I have. Yes, I've got more that I've got to take to court because I'm going to court. But here's what I can give you. He said stuff right now isn't doing much.
Absolving me of all speculatory bullshit regarding some fucking made-up story that I'm an accessory to an attempted murder. Learn how to focus, motherfuckers. You fucking simpletons.
And for everybody in the comment section saying this dude was crashing out, it's not a crash out. He's explaining he was there.
Y'all motherfuckers like y'all try to ruin my life. That's what this is about.
And I guarantee if anybody else in this situation will be doing the same fucking exact thing. You lose your job and your fucking
They ain't trying to hear me. They don't want to hear a nigga. They just want to save the great white hope.
Yeah, this man's life and his well-being is on the line. Why the fuck would he be hot about this shit? I'll be 38 hot about this shit too. I was being blamed for it. Like, y'all gotta chill with that kind of shit, man. It's not even about being trolled, man. It's about stating the real. And again, too many people in this conversation think we're trying to make excuses for Raja's action. The shit went over. We said that a million times already.
You're not even paying attention. This is me, my experience, my involvement, me, nobody else. This nigga here.
Definitely not making any excuses for Raja did. I'm sure he wouldn't either. He overdid it. He overdid it. But all I said was hear the whole story.
Hold on. Raja did not say he did it or he did not say that. What did he say? I just lost my train of thought when he said that.
Me, nobody else. This nigga here. Definitely not making any excuses for what Roger did. I'm sure he wouldn't either. He overdid. He overdid. But all I said was.
No, Raja didn't make any excuses. He just said, "My bad." Of course he didn't make an excuse. He just said, "My bad." Like it's not like, oh, it's water off my back. I'm a duck.
Hear the whole story first before you pass some peaks. I mean, you got a sentence, you got a hung, you got a trial, everything already. And hear it from somebody that was there, not your sister's uncle or auntie or something. Hear it from somebody who was there.
I ain't no third party witness. I was a part of the shit.
And again, I tell anybody that's talking shit in the comment section, take an hour and 45 minutes of your time and go watch the whole fucking video. Like AJ said, he was in that video all of 8 minutes. And how the fuck y'all get, again, whatever your thoughts on what happened with Roger and Stu, that's one thing. But somebody to watch that video and then say,
I'm a flash in the pan in that shit.
I know a few long-time, very well-known professional wrestlers, and I asked one of my good friends, I ain't saying who the fuck it is, but I said, have you ever mistaken somebody who was not a worker or not a talent for a worker in all the years that you've been a wrestler? Have you mistaken somebody who wasn't a worker for a worker? Yes, the decades, and actually, hit them or made a pro? Have you ever done anything like that before? Have you ever, in all the decades, and this is a wrestling superstar, legendary, and he said, nope, never had done it. That's what made me a little suspicious.
And that right there would be perfect for cross-examination.
It's a little suspicious when he said that he thought he was part of it. So that's, me and Mike go backstage all the time.
So the only one that I can think of currently is Rob Van Dam, Mark Henry. Who was the other one that I saw that made comments about this? There's one other legend that I saw that made comments about this. Shoot. Let me see if I can find it. JBL Raja. I think it was this. Yeah.
Attempted murder.
This was a crime, was it not, John?
100%. Attempted murder. There's no other way to describe it. And I'm gonna give you some caveats about what could have been done, but I want to make it very clear. This is 100% Raja Jackson's fault. 100%. The fault and the blame lies 100% with this man. I feel sorry for Rampage. He seems like a really good guy. His talk about his son had a concussion. We can talk about that in a minute. And that he should have been there to put him in that situation, which is, I think, correct. But 100% of this blame goes on Raja. I mean, no matter what happens here, once this guy's out, the fight's over. If it is a fight, the guy didn't know he was in a fight. So forget about the fact.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely got to be like when it comes to this, JBL saying, once he's out and unconscious, that's it. That's even in UFC. Literally, when the person's out and they're unable to defend themselves or cover themselves up, when you're mounted on top of them, the ref pulls you off immediately. They don't let you get those hits in. And I understand wrestling's different than UFC. It is 100% because they know that both athletes can get hurt, whether it be wrestling or UFC. But UFC, they're going to get hurt a lot more, realistically, if they were to sit there and ground and pound. But obviously something snapped in Raja when it comes to when Stu was on the ground and unconscious. Something snapped in him, and he just kept going.
The guy thought he was working, and he knocks him out. But at that point, it's just attempted murder. I mean, you're hitting. I don't care what happens. I don't care if this happened in the back. A guy's down and out, and you just keep punching him. There's no call for that. If this apparently what happened backstage was not planned. He hit him over the head with something, maybe a gimmick bottle or can or something, whatever it was. And you could tell he didn't know what was coming, or at least it certainly didn't look like it. If Raja would have just punched him then, people would have thought, you know what?
Yes.
Deserved.
Yeah.
We get it.
Yeah.
Shouldn't have done it. Guy's an MMA fighter. He didn't know it was a work. Shit happens.
Yeah.
But it didn't. And then at that point.
Yeah, me personally, I think if the initial interaction would have been Stu hit him with the can, and then like JBL says, Raja hits him one time, knocks him. That's it. That would have been the end of that situation, but it went way too far.
Don't. I mean, whatever you do, I feel sorry for Rikishi. You know, he's part of Knox Pro. You know, I mean, this happened at his show. I mean, which he had nothing to do with this. He runs a good show. It's not him. I mean, so much happened here, and so many people are going to be a fallout from this. And this is 100% on Raja Jackson, and no one else can. You can say what could have happened, and it's easy to do. I can tell you what should have happened in backstage, but there's no reason for this to happen from Raja Jackson's point, especially once you've hit him and knocked him out. That's attempted murder.
Yeah, and I mean, honestly, if anybody, me personally, JBL, one of the most professional, one of the most honest when it comes to everything that he's done. I'm going to take his opinion over some of these other guys.
You know, wrestlers, they know who's part of the show and who's not. And they never mistake. You know, I know how to fuck up the whole shit now, but they ain't never respect me for no worker. They never mistakenly thought Mike was no worker. They were trying to make me one. They know. Yeah, well, you want to talk shit, but they know that, you know, they know who's a worker and who's not a worker.
This thought.
There's no murder. You're talking about justifying murder. There's no fucking murder. So please, don't even say that.
They're not watching that. So, yeah,
Don't say that. You're talking about, come on, that's a very sensitive subject. And we're not even dealing in that. Again, speculation and bullshit. We're not dealing with that.
yeah, like quit that shit. Like y'all got to stop with that.
Now we keep thinking this case.
Boy, it's a lot of people warriors in the comment section tonight.
I'm making it worse than making myself guilty. Okay. You got it.
Y'all killing these comments. Oh, let me show some love.
See, he's getting baited. He's definitely getting baited.
For the people who did super chats. King Mike, know you like podcast. I saw your super chat. We appreciate you so much. Thank y'all for the super chats. Let me thank you for that before I get back.
I should have stayed quiet, nigga. You need to learn how to spell because you just wrote I should have stayed quit. You need to get that on phonics, nigga.
I feel
Can't even spell. Try to talk shit. You can't even articulate it properly, bitch.
See, he's doing the internet, the Facebook angry person, where they're like, they look for the smallest little thing. It's like, oh, you didn't put that comma there. Oh, you idiot, you forgot to put the apostrophe in your. Oh my God, you're an idiot. He's getting baited.
All right, so again, I know AJ. Some other people that catch some flack. There's other wrestlers that was in the ring at the same time. And I don't know if you know this, but Raja got about 40 punches.
You know why? And I said this earlier, bro. Nobody really knew what the fuck was going on. That's why we kept rolling with the story as the fucking film was rolling. Because everybody in the venue had no fucking clue. The rep didn't fucking know. All of this shit was planned on the fly. There's a lot of moving parts here. You can't just shut down operation and brief everybody that we got some bullshit going. It's fucked up. Here's a question for you. Trying to play judge, jury, and executioner towards AJ since you care so much. Why don't you ask his brother how much the family is holding AJ accountable?
What?
Yeah, he says, since here's a question for you, trying to play judge, executioner towards AJ, for people who are trying to do that. Since you care so much about Stu, the gentleman who was injured, why don't you ask his brother?
But Stu knows that I didn't.
How much the family is holding AJ accountable? How much?
Stu knows that this ain't me.
How much is Stu's family holding AJ? That would tell you a lot. Is his family?
I guess they wanted the family holding you responsible.
No, that's what he's asking.
I didn't fucking do nothing.
And again, let's be real. Raja played his part, and nobody's justifying what Raja did. But again, you don't just walk up and hit a motherfucking head with a full can of beer and not think some shit is gonna come from that incident.
It wasn't a full beer can. Or full. It wasn't a full can of beer. It was a gimmick can. You can literally see it. Because if that was a full fucking can of beer, it wouldn't have imploded like it did. That can was obviously opened and already drank from, or it was a prop gimmick can. If you've ever if you've ever taken a can of pop or a can of beer or whatever it might be, you're not just smacking it and it just implodes. It doesn't. You have to actually hit pretty hard with that thing. And Stu, when he hit Raja, if he hit him as hard as it would to cause that can to implode, Raja would have moved. He would have had some moving. He would have stumbled, realistically.
Yeah. Come to think of it, you're talking about if the family is holding me accountable. I think some of them was there at the hospital when I went. And the only reason I didn't say is because some of the other guys that were from Knox Pro were already placing the blame on me, and it was a very fucking uncomfortable situation. And then, so Ty, I said I was gonna mention names. I'm sorry, brother. One of the boys was like, I think you should just go home. And that's when I knew that they was trying to pass it up on me. So he told me to go home. He said, "Go home." No, you ain't lying. You ain't lying. You ain't lying. You ain't lying. And that shit is very important to communicate to the ref what the fuck's going on. If you ain't got no fucking head and ain't got no fucking monitor, you know, big man ain't gonna say his name. He wasn't there. Typically, when he's there, they're watching everything on the monitor. Everybody's got a fucking headpiece. That's got a fucking headpiece. And they didn't have that.
My point is, everyone who wants to hold AJ accountable.
I'm not accountable for anything, but I'm not accountable for anyone's actions but my own. And I have just spoken, and I appreciate that. I have just spoken, or I have just elaborated on my own actions. There's nothing more for me to elaborate on because, like I said, I was only in the video for 8 minutes.
Okay. So, I'm gonna link the video in chat if you want to watch the rest of it. Realistically, he didn't say shit. Nothing changed. And I just think that he should put out some receipt or some like indication of like, hey, this is what I have to prove on myself, and you know, like, hey, I can give you what proof I can, but the rest of it I'm gonna take to court. That's the way I see it. I was gonna react to this one. Oh, I guess I will.
Well,
This is Doug, the Epic, the gentleman that actually pulled Raja off of Stu. And Raja tried to fight Doug while he was trying to pull him off, telling him, you know, hey, chill out, calm down, like, you know, stop. And in the process, Raja hit Doug, as you can see here in the orbital bone, and caused him to start bleeding and stuff like that.
hello, people. I wanted to make a video from a more coherent, thoughtful mind. I made the video the day after. Was very upset. Wasn't coping very well. A lot of pain in my soul. I still feel pretty broken up over everything. And you know, now I'm just trying to process not just the event, but you know, everything in totality, right? You know, like I got people messaging me all kinds of nonsense. I know what I said. Oh, I'd fight Rampage if it got Stu's medical bills paid for, and I would. I'd get my ass fucking handed to me. But I would. Wouldn't be the greatest thing for my health either.
I definitely don't think he should do that. Rampage would beat the bricks off this man.
Let's be real. Just so many things. The fact that people are sending death threats to lots of parties involved. I'm getting threats of violence, all kinds of stuff. But it's not okay to send death threats over to Rampage either, or even Raja. Like, just in perspective, he's 25 years old. He did a terrible thing. But I wasn't the greatest 20-something-year-old. And I've done a lot of stupid things. Nothing to that extent, but like, that's a volatile age. And for somebody to be gassed up and hyped up, not only by streamers, but by somebody that's a friend. And yes, I'm still mad that worker, I don't even want to give the guy any more praise. I don't want to mention his name. He's an idiot.
He's talking about AJ here, obviously. But people keep giving Raja this grace of, oh, he's 25, he's 25, you know. Almost murdering somebody putting somebody into the hospital in the situation that he did, having him choke on his own blood, choke on his own teeth, flatlining twice, punching somebody undefensible 23 times in the face. And you're a 25-year-old gentleman. Yes, you are a fighter. Can't take it away from you. And you're being gassed up by 12-year-olds, 12 and 14-year-olds, because he was on Kick. Let's be real. Between Twitch and Kick, that's the majority of your audience is 12 to, I think, 17-year-old kids, for the most part. There are adults, obviously. But, anyways, they gassed him up so much that he was enraged. And I'm sure it's not just his audience there. It's also Rampage's fault, as his dad, trying to be his friend, I wouldn't even say friend, trying to be a troll, and making the comments of him being in there with men in tights. I mean, there's videos that have come out of Rampage almost essentially making fun of his son, trying to make him come off as gay, which, bro, come on. We're in 2025 at this point. I understand masculinity is whatever it is nowadays. You have to, I mean, in my opinion, the dudes that are over at masculine come off as the gayest dudes ever. But that's just me. That's just me. If you have to show your masculinity so much, like, yeah, I'm masculine, I don't know. It's kind of screaming that you're not as masculine as you say. But, yeah. Between his dad being a troll and, my opinion, a dick to him, and then his audience gassing him up and trying to tell him that, essentially calling him a bitch, which is what he got upset about. You're 25, bro. I was 25. I'm 34 now. I would have never thought about assaulting somebody like this, even if I got trolled on the internet. I mean, come on. I grew up in the Xbox era. You know how many times I got called the F slur, or called a bitch, or, called the N word, or whatever it might be. How many times I got that? Didn't cause me to go psycho.
But you brought this 25-year-old to an event, and then you're getting him backstage, you're walking him up to people. The beer can thing happens, which I don't agree with. Stu apologized and asked if you're going to sell it. That's when you know he really sincerely thought it was a work. He asked, are you going to sell it? I would be upset too. You don't know the situation. AJ's not explaining, and goddamn, I mentioned it. Well, there it is. Well, he doesn't explain anything. He's sitting there just, instead of trying to find a way to calm Raja down, he's not a worker, he's not this, he's not that, then they're walking away. Like, you have a moment to be a good mentor and a friend to somebody, and if you know he had a concussion, you know his mind's not in the right place, the last thing you need to do is up the energy and intensity of what he's feeling inside. He's got to be boiling. So, like, that to me in itself is crazy.
Now, my only thought here is he makes a comment about, upping his energy. AJ, I mean, as far as I'm assuming, with AJ, at least it seemed like it. So, from the video that is shown, Stu and Raja squashed it outside, and then they talked about putting it into the story. And then from there, they went inside the building, and this is where you see AJ and Raja, and he tells him, you better give him a receipt. So there's that period of time where he had time to cool off. And I'm sure he did. I'm sure he cooled off at one point in time, because he doesn't seem angry when he's with Raja. And he tells him to give him the receipt. Doesn't seem like it, but it could be, I'm reading it wrong.
As an older person with, as a mentor, if you're a friend, your job is to not lead them into getting themselves in trouble. Your job is to protect them from getting in trouble. Just why I'm so broken up, because of the kids at the event. The messages I received from parents, and even hearing about the little girl that we have the wrestling group with,
and also the death threats towards everybody is just ridiculous. Get off the internet. Get off the internet if that's what you do. It's just childish.
Our job's to protect them from seeing these things, and we're supposed to protect them from making bad choices or making the same mistakes we made. That's your job as an adult. So I'm reflecting on the whole situation, and I think the anger is still out there. I'm still very angry, still upset. Can't really watch the video. I see it everywhere, and it hurts my heart. But if anything, I want to raise more money for Stu. He's recovering. He's made some jokes. He still has no recollection of the event. I really want to find a silver lining in all of this, and I think it's completely I think what's happening is this over sensationalized push of one side being bad and one side being good, and yeah, someone did an atrocious act, but let's try to level out how we got there. I know that's not the outcome anyone should ever do, but there was a lot of moving pieces that got involved in that, and I think taking a step back and looking at that, it's just time to have better conversations, because at the end of the day, all we could really do from here, instead of spewing more hate, is looking at this as a moment, where you're being amped up by your friends to do stuff to get you in trouble. It's almost like when you're in high school and you got a bunch of kids that want you to fight another kid, and everyone's pushing the scenario, and you get all this pressure, and then it happens, and afterwards you're like, why the hell did I do that? Right. I think it's time to start talking about responsibilities of people as friends, and time to start talking about the roles we play in other people's lives, and and who we have around us. You can't have people that aren't positive and care about your well-being around you. You don't want people that are playing games, that are trying to get clout or excitement. Like in Raja's case, I heard, oh, we could get your dad involved now. Heard that in the video, and I'm that's the main objective here, is just to get clout.
Yeah, and I mean, he makes this comment about because that's the second time I've heard that. That's the second wrestlers make the comment about, we need to bring in your father. Because even AJ said it. AJ made the comment about people saying that. And Doug, what like though D- Doug was from what I saw in the video, Doug was nowhere near the locker room that they had. He wasn't even there. So, like he's going out from what I'm assuming. What I'm assuming is he literally is going off of what he saw in the video as far as what happened outside.
I don't know. I'm just trying to think through this. Like I said, I'm done throwing anger out into the world. I'm still angry. I'm not really going to be able to move on from this because it's haunting. It just replays in my head all the time. And I'm thinking about all the people affected by it. I don't know. If anyone has a comment on or just trying to find a way to process through this information to help stir up better conversations, because people have turned this into a race thing or this or that, and I think that's low and stupid.
Yeah, it's definitely not a race thing. I personally haven't seen anybody any comments on the race thing, but I'm sure they're out there. It wouldn't shock me.
The world needs a lot more love than chaos right now, and this whole situation has been nothing.
Hey. Ain't nothing wrong with a little bit of chaos.
Nothing but chaos. So, with that said, I just wanted to put this video out with my calmer, collective thoughts. My thoughts all day are with Stu and the families that were there. I'm even upset at myself for losing my temper. I can say it's justified, but it's not my having an excuse to lose your temper isn't. I don't know. I'm having a hard time with this one.
And I mean, I can definitely understand where he's coming. Well, not understand, but I can empathize with him when it comes to him being upset the day after everything happened. I mean, I'm sure if he could take it back, well, maybe. I'm just assuming here. I'm assuming that he would take that interview back. He did. And because I'm sure, everybody in that interview, Doug and the gentleman sitting behind him, sitting next to him, they were both very heated because, the situation when it was at that time. So, I can understand why they were heated, but I mean, calmer minds, what's the phrase? Calmer minds, something. Yeah. Anyways. But yeah, I mean, at this point, it's just coming down to they need to get Raja, get all the footage, and work it out from there. I mean, these superstars and the Knox Wrestling needs to stop silencing these athletes and telling them you have to do this, you have to do this, you have to listen, if you're going to put out a statement, run it by us first. That's just wrong. You're just going to censor what you don't want to put out there. But that's my 2 cents on it at this point. Raja went over too far, way too far, way too far. People tried to protect him. People are going after AJ Mana. And, like you said, he's lost everything. I feel for the guy. I don't think he was putting a hit out on Stu. And I honestly don't think that he deserves what's happened to him at this point. When I first saw the situation happening, I thought, AJ was just... I thought AJ was guilty of something. But, after multiple videos and, kind of looking at the, his comments and a couple other comments as far as AJ, I don't think he should have been treated the way he was. The promotion company is definitely at fault for trying to promote this the way they did, because they wanted to tell everybody to be hush hush, but they still wanted them to promote the promotion on their social medias with everything that was happening, trying to get their 15 minutes of fame off of this and trying to push the promotion. So yeah, Raja, straight to jail. AJ, feel for the guy. He should get his job back. He should. I mean, he probably doesn't want it back at this point. I wouldn't. But, you know, another company should pick him up. And same way with Epic. I mean, Epic, he left from what it seems. And to be honest, I think NXT should pick him up. I saw some of his matches, and I think NXT should pick him up. He seems like he's he looks like he's the same age, but he looks like he's kind of like an Aleister Black. And I mean, we need more Aleister Blacks in wrestling, to be honest. But yeah, that's my 2 cents on it. Hopefully this is the last video I do on it. Except for, you know, the final outcome. I think that'll be the last time I cover it. Just because there's not a whole lot at this point. I mean, it's literally just going back and forth on the same things. But yep, finish up on that one. Like, comment, subscribe. Appreciate all that. Now, we're going to get to I honestly we'll cover the fresh and fit. I know I'm gonna get a bunch of shit from some people. Because I am an Abin Preach enjoyer, and I am an O'Shea Duke Jackson enjoyer. I'm not subscribed on this account, but I'm subscribed on my other account. So, let's go over this O'Shea Duke Jackson video on old Fresh and Fit. What were the other names? Appa and Preach? What were they? I forget. I'd have to go look them up, but I'm not going to go look them up right now.
Fresh, I just don't like you. You're I just don't like you.
What's good, everybody?
Okay.
It's your boy, O'Shea Duke Jackson. Back at it again with another episode of
The Celebrity Junk.
Celebrity Junk. The Fresh and Fit podcast is notorious for kicking out women on their show, but they're also notorious for disrespecting black people.
Okay, so I'm sorry. This is one of the biggest things I had with Fresh and Fit is they kick these women out. And it shows how, like, they comment how these women are sensitive and everything else. But if you can't take criticism or comments from a woman and you turn into a little bitch and you say, get out of here. Get out of here. We don't want you here. That's the least masculine thing you can do, bud.
This has become a repetitive theme within the complex of their show idea altogether.
Reparations are for okay. Black people need to just stop being lazy. You're not going to get a handout, okay? You're not going to give your reparations because guess who's going to have to pay for that? The middle class is going to have to pay for it. Yes. Let's keep it 1,000. Get your reparations. What you going to do with it? You'll buy a bunch of some Jordans, some drugs, some weed.
Now, in this instance, you hear Myron, of course, talking about how silly black people are for reparations. And then Fresh is sitting there just listening. Now, it'd be one thing if Myron was sitting there talking about blacks and then Fresh wasn't saying anything. But again, Fresh starts to get involved with it too. And he does more in this clip.
Yeah. What good, you gotta buy some Fendi? You gotta buy some guns? You gotta buy some guns? Yeah. Like, you are gonna spend the money and invest.
Go back to jail.
Majority are gonna do criminals.
Yep, 100%.
Come on, man. Let's keep it $1 million. Let's keep it all the way $1 million.
Buy some rims. Oh, yeah, look at spin.
Yeah,
look at that spin.
So, stereotypes. While stereotypes have a place They are not always true. Now, I'm a light skin, so of course, I'm light skin, or most people in there think I'm Latino, but I'm light skin. My dad was dark as night. You cut off the lights, all you saw was teeth. That's just the reality. My mom, white as paper. She might have been even whiter than paper. I came out mocha. But never got into the thug life, never got into that goofy shit. Wasn't my thing.
It's not interesting. Whenever you consider Fresh dealing with like the Jews, he has the utmost respect for the Jews. So even if Myron starts going off on the Jews, Fresh will refuse to say anything. And again, they're implicating how silly blacks are for wanting reparations. And again, both of these guys got into America because of the Civil Rights Act of 1965 that helped other people like themselves. I believe Fresh is from Barbados and then Myron from Sudan. Two guys who come from the African diaspora got into the country specifically because they were black and they benefited from the black struggle. But then it gets worse.
I could go fucking do shit with it. I tried being for like 6 months. That's bro.
Yo, listen, man. Big chains and all that.
I tried.
So he says here, I tried being the N-word. It was the R-word, right? It was silly. It didn't make any sense. Now, here's a situation that you come across when...
I'm sorry. I love O'Shea, but I'm sorry, bro. You look like Uncle Ruckus here.
You, as a black person, go around disrespecting black people, then what you don't understand is you're setting the tonality for somebody to come ahead and disrespect you also. And this is what a lot of blacks don't understand. When they see, when other groups, see you disrespecting black people, then technically they're going to come out and they're going to do the same exact thing to you one day. And then when it happens to you, all of a sudden, you're not ready for it. Well, it happened the other day on Fresh and Fit.
Fresh, I just don't like you. You're a ass. I just don't like you. And Myron, you tell guys to get into real estate. It's like, bro, the barrier for entry to that is so high. Like, you need to just tell people to buy Bitcoin. It's really that simple.
So why am
I just don't like you, bro. I just, like, it's that simple.
Are you
I
white?
just don't like you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm white.
You just said the N-word?
Yeah,
I didn't give you the pass.
I did.
I didn't give you the pass.
I don't need a pat. Don't need one. Did.
That is you, my friend.
So here's the
Never
thing, bro.
needed one.
All right, let me.
You need one, my friend.
I'm from the street. I'm from the street.
I mean, he technically don't need it. He'll be seen as racist, but he don't need it.
Like, I'm really
No,
from
you're
the...
not. You're a white
Yes,
boy.
I am, brother.
Your mom's
Yes, I am, bro.
Oh,
you can
bro,
ask
please,
about me.
please.
Ask about me in the area that I live in, brother. You can ask about me.
Where you live at?
I live in Dallas. You can ask about
Dallas,
me, bro.
Texas?
Yes, sir.
Okay, go inside and sit in the street. I promise you, they'll beat your ass.
I do it all the time, brother. I got tons of homies in the hood, bro. I got in South Dallas. I got in East Dallas. I got homies in North
Dallas. You said
I got homies everywhere, brother.
You're
bro, I see through your fake ass facade, brother. I see through it.
I am me on camera, having fun. I got the lifestyle you wish you had, and you're your mom's basement probably. Oh, bro. Okay. Okay. And I said the N-word. You want a brownie? You're not Nick Fuentes, bro. He can say it. You got to pass. You don't. You're not Nick. You're not Nick, bro.
So now here we have a white guy who calls Fresh a B-A-N. Now it was shocking because Fresh said, wait a minute, I didn't give you a pass to use the N-word, so stop the show. It's okay for you, who is a immigrant to America and black, but you refer to black Americans as the N-word, all right? And you talk down on blacks. But now the person is white and they need to get a pass from you to say the N-word? Well, see, the reality is they see you being disrespectful towards blacks. So when you're disrespectful...
Now, this is something I will say I've seen growing up where I did, because we did have immigrants from Nigeria and immigrants from Sudan. We had those immigrants there, and they looked down upon people that were black and of American descent. So, you know, African American. They saw them as lesser than them. And it's not all of them, obviously, but like they saw them as lesser beings than they were when they were from Africa already. And it's like, we're descended from the same people. It's just ours were brought over here and we grew up in another area.
Towards blacks, then there is no reason for them to respect blacks either, okay? Because you're not showing any respect for yourself. And then the guy repeats it. He says, you heard what I said, BAN. Then Fresh says what? Well, you wouldn't say that in front of other blacks. You couldn't go to Dallas and say that. Well, the reality is, Fresh, you wouldn't go to Dallas and say that. You wouldn't say anything that he's saying. You nor Myron will go around saying what he's saying in front of blacks, because you guys talk even worse about blacks than what he's doing. And what people would see is the white guy.
And not only that, they made them comment about Fuentes. You platformed Nick Fuentes multiple times. And Fuentes, to Myron's face, said that he was lesser than the white race. Myron was in a group panel, whatever you want to call it, and he sat there and let somebody tell him that he needs to go back to Africa. All these black people need to go back to Africa. This is a white America. This isn't our country. And he sat there and said nothing.
Yeah, he shouldn't use the N-word, but he's saying, check my credentials. People know about me. Ask about me. Like, what's the problem? Folks know who I am. Folks know how I get down, right? So he basically saying he's running with the blacks. He just happened to be white. So in other words, I got more pull in the black community than you. And when I'm calling you the N-word, for me, I'm not looking at it as racist. That's just what I think you are. But see, Fresh is not ready for that type of smoke. And many dudes ain't ready for that type of smoke. And see, this is what I want to tell you guys. When you're in front of other groups and other communities, you really got to be careful of what you're saying about the black community in front of those folks. Let me give you an example. I was living in Poland, okay? And it was a brother that was from, I'm not going to say the country, but it's a big African country. And he was talking down on the problems in this country. The country's very well known. They're a trendsetter, so you probably figure out what it was.
Somalia.
He was saying, look, the country I have is corrupt. The people are corrupt. Folks steal. Then he shifted the conversation to talking about the women. Like, women in my country, all they want is money. All they want is this. All they want is that. And I'm sitting there because he's having a conversation with us and a few other blacks. And I was concerned. I'm like, hey, bro, do you actually tell this to white people? He said, yeah, why not? It's the truth. I said, well, you may feel that it's the truth, my brother, but you got to understand you're living in Europe. And people here are already hostile towards us as blacks. And I was talking to him in that way because when you live in Poland, it's not like, let me be honest. When you live in Poland, people don't look at you as, oh, you're Ghanaian, or you're South African, or you're Jamaican, or you're, Nigerian, or you're, Black American. They look at you as all black, and you're from Africa. Everybody, right? So once you go out there and you start saying that, then it hurts the impression of blacks all across the city. So anyways, he ended up getting with this particular Polish lady. And of course, he was going around allegedly saying the same things I told him not to say. Okay, he was talking to her about the things that I'm talking to you about now. And so when he did it, they initially had a fight. Not a physical fight, but they was arguing. And then
and his ass got lit up, I'm betting you.
Against him as ammo. She was saying, you in my country, like, your country is corrupt. Your people are this. This is what you do. And while it might not have been the exact N-word type of thing that she used, she definitely used some language to let him know that as a black person, he was less than. And so then he felt really bothered by that. And he felt like, oh, well, you're being racist. Like, you're being racist towards me. How can you be racist towards me? Like, that's not right. So now he wants to cry and play the victim role, right? So again, you want to play the victim role,
which is something we do in this country a lot. we talk shit about certain parts of our community, which, I mean, I won't even deny it. I do it. There's certain parts of our community that I shit talk. I can't stand the way that the a lot of the hip hop community is when it comes to the drugs, the guns, the violence. And I understand in a way they use the guns, the violence to express what's going on around them and within their community. I understand that. I don't want to take that away, but I also think that our community is better than that. Like, the African American community can do so much better for themselves after we get out of this. We're victims of everything because we're only victims to ourselves. If you want to escape, you have to make the effort to escape, and I know people do. I know people make the effort to escape, and they get stuck, and they can't get out. I know it happens. But it's also that we don't have that support in our own community to help push us out. I mean, we had the BLM in Minnesota. All that money that was taken in wasn't even put into the city. It wasn't put into our black communities. Those people never saw it. I mean, there's tons of interviews of people in that community that said nothing's changed. All the money that was taken in and nothing's changed, which sucks. Our communities could grow. And we don't have the ability to, because one, there's not the community that we had hoped there would be. And we do hope there is. Because there's still hope that our community can build itself up further and further. But everybody in the community has to want to do it. It can't be, because the community kind of right now in certain aspects, is the crabs in a bucket mentality. We can't let one person get out and do better. We have to pull them back down with us.
But then again, you were not saying that when you were going around talking about your own community in front of the whole entire world to see. Even if you don't like black women, you don't like black men, when you're in front of other groups and people are watching, they watch it how you treat your people. They watch it, right? They watch it. And you are the number one person that can teach others how to treat you. I want to give a shout out to Steve Dean. It's been a long time since we did the show, but he says, you teach people how to treat you. And this is the reality of it all. Yes, you do. And when you go out there and you act silly like that, and then people start coming towards you with that same kind of racism, and all of a sudden now it's too hard. Same thing that's happened to Myron. I'm not even going to play the clip, but we've already heard it. Myron has had multiple instances where he's been talking down on blacks, similar to what we have seen just now. Said some of the most disrespectful things. He will go to the white supremacist chat rooms, and do you think that they give him any kind of credit
Exactly what I just said.
Talking down on blacks? Nah, you don't get no credit for that. You know what I'm saying? Oh yeah, well, we just want somewhat of a pass. No, they're not gonna give you no pass.
There ain't no pass. They just see you as another ignorant black person in those white supremacist groups. They see you as an ignorant black person, and what's the term? The something idiot. Essentially, you're a puppet. You're an idiot for them to use to in a community, and you can be used to say the things that they want to say.
What happens? They talk to you crazy like they would talk to another person's adversary because they don't respect you. You don't respect your people. The biggest people that white supremacists respect are those people who are the exact opposite of them for their groups. All right, if you're a white supremacist, want to know who you respect? Most likely, somebody in the Nation of Islam. All right, this is why the Ku Klux Klan and Elijah Muhammad, actually, the Ku Klux Klan was trying to fund Elijah Muhammad and them to stay separate. That was the respect. The respect was we don't like each other, but we want to stay away from each other. Then, ironically, if you ever want to be friends, it got to be built on respect first. Okay, so you down for your community, and I'm down for my community. But the moment you start, kowtowing and trying to, talk down on other people, other blacks, at the behest of the whites, because you are doing it on some of the whites' behalf, not all of them, they end up disrespecting you. So bruh come on the channel and he just start clowning them. Now he might think he black. He might not mean it as a racist thing, even though what he's doing is wrong. But he's like, look, man, I'm in South Dallas. I'm in Dallas, wherever he say he was from. I go out there and say it like I'm one of them. You the one that's not one of them. In other words, I'm more black than you. Now, I can guarantee you, I have never heard nobody, no white person, come on Dr. Umar Johnson stream and said there's many problems he got. I ain't never heard nobody say it on Boy stream. Many problems does he have? I ain't never heard nobody say it on Tariq Nasheed's stream. I ain't never heard nobody say it on nobody's stream, but I done seen several instances of people going up to Fresh and Fit after they have clowned black people and get disrespected like that. I've seen multiple instances. I've seen people do the same thing to Candace Owens, talk about her like that, as much buffooning as she does. Again, who you doing all that for? Respect yourself. You ain't got to put down your community to get no respect from them. What are they giving you anyway? The white people are non-blacks who dislike black people will never give you anything anyway because they don't like your ass either, okay? So you validating what they think is not going to help you no way. You will only get validation from somebody if you have a power move. You make folks respect you. This is the same play the gays did. The LGBTQ community got where it's gotten today largely because of forcing respect. Same thing with the Muslims. I remember after 9/11, it was almost free reign on hatred towards Muslims at that particular time. I mean, you can say almost anything. Same thing to a certain degree, not as bad, but what happened with the Asian community after COVID? They nipped that in the bud real quick. That Asian hate crime thing bill came in quick. That
Yep.
Muslims they got that together quick. Okay, same power play the Jewish community used. All right. They make people respect them. And the blacks got to do the same thing. And you can never make somebody respect you by laughing at your own community because you're showing them that you're not no.
Well, not only that, I mean, you have to make them respect you, but you have to make them respect you in a non-violent way. You have to make them respect you. I'm trying to think of how to put it. So respect in a non-violent way, you have to show that you're worth the respect. You know the whole saying, you don't get respect unless you show respect. That whole thing. And then, at least for me, I'm not one of those people that says you gotta adapt to their culture. But we have to change our culture in a way that isn't so violent, that isn't so anti-family. Because in my opinion, that's one of the biggest things when it comes to modern black families is it's not as tight-knit as it used to be. Like, the family I grew up in, we were all very close. We did the regular events and stuff. You know, we had family over all the time. We did family get-togethers on a regular basis. You know, family meant a lot to us back then. Nowadays, it's not the way it used to be. And I'm not saying we're ever going to get back to that, but I mean, that's getting back to where the black families were together. That's going to be one of the biggest things that gets shows the respect, so we can get the respect that we're owed. And getting rid of the victimhood. We're not a victim in everything.
Not in Africa, especially not in Africa. You get walked over here. But guys, what do you think? It's your boy Shitty Jackson back at it again with another episode of the Celebrity Junk. I appreciate you for all that you do. Subscribe.
We'll link the video in this comment section here, or in in the chat. Link that in there for everybody. Go hit it with a like, hit it with a comment. Show O'Shea some love. Make sure you share it. Don't need this anymore. I don't know if I got enough time for Destiny. That's just too much tonight. But actually, I think we'll finish off. Let's see. Yeah, we'll finish off with Rev here tonight. I am going to run to the bathroom real quick. We're going to finish off with Rev and this game that essentially Asmon got canceled. All right. There we go. All right, let's see. So, they say there's no game that can be too political, and every game's an art. Piece of art. Do you believe that? Let's see. Let's listen to Rev and see what happened with this politically charged illegal migrant simulator game, who essentially got destroyed by Asmongold.
Hey, what's up, guys? Riff here. So today we're going to be looking at one of the most hilarious and speedy downfalls of a game you will ever see. So we're going to be talking about an indie studio backed by Microsoft, with connections to the usual suspects like Sweet Baby Inc. and also payment processors like Visa and MasterCard. Produce a project.
Visa and MasterCard, who are cool with supporting Roblox, supporting OnlyFans, who have had minors on it. Minors. But they got issues with video games. Anyways.
That is nothing more than virtue signaling slop propaganda masqueraded as a video game. And the second there was a spotlight shined on this game by gamers and content creators, everyone involved with this project has pretty much wiped their entire digital footprint. They don't want to be discovered. They don't want people looking into their business. They've gone completely off the grid, and for good reason, as we'll see. So we're talking.
In 2020, this game would have got pushed and would have got put out. Now, where we're at now, after all the stuff that's happened and the changes, and I'm not saying Donald Trump and all that, but like the way that the media landscape has changed so much as far as creators, this shit don't fly.
About a game called Take Us North. And there's a reason why this game has been dubbed the illegal migrant simulator, because that's exactly what it is. So here's the description of this game from their Kickstarter page. It's going to be developed by Anima Interactive, who describes themselves as a socially conscious indie game studio that focuses on making social change.
Okay. The biggest red flag, and I'm sorry, socially conscious indie games. Why do we need socially conscious video games? Keep the activism out of video games. That's it. Keep the activism out of video games. Keep politics out of video games. Produce a great story. Produce great characters. And a great UI, because there's way too many of these games nowadays that have the worst UIs. But there are some that are good. Power World, great UI. Grounded 2, great UI. Minus moving inventory. Please, for the love of God, Grounded 2, fix your inventory movement. Shift click a stack. Come on, man. Come on. I'm sorry.
Isn't that just stunning and brave? Yeah. How does this translate into good and enjoyable video games? I'm curious. That's really the million-dollar question here. But here's the description of the game. So this is their first project at the studio. It is a
first and last
narrative-driven video game inspired by real-world stories that immerses players in the poignant journeys of migrants and asylum seekers on their way to cross the U.S.-Mexico border. Yes, unfortunately, I have to answer the question for you guys. No, you cannot play the real heroes like ICE or the Border Patrol. No, you're playing the role of these migrants.
Jesus, Rev. No comment.
Illegally entering the United States. They are trying to glamorize this experience, and even in their own words, trying to humanize the migrant and refugee experience by portraying it sensitively and respectfully. Yeah, this is propaganda, ladies and gentlemen. This is not a video game. This is propaganda. They are trying to sell you a political agenda with this game. And I don't know about you guys, but I'm tired of it. People are tired of this nonsense. This is not...
Well, I mean, it's been happening for a while that the propaganda and the political pushes and the what am I looking for? The activism in video games has been pushed for, I'd probably say, the last decade, and they're trying to continue it now. But most gamers that buy video games, they're not playing it anymore. I mean, most gamers are trying to get the value out of their time and money that they put into a game. I mean, you don't. I mean, what am I paying $60 for a game for to get 10 hours of gameplay and 40 hours of activism and propaganda? There's no enjoyment out of that. And I mean, realistically, the gamers are actually showing it. I mean, except for like your Call of Duty players and stuff like that. Those guys will buy the next Call of Duty, the next Call of Duty, the next Call of Duty, the next Call of Duty. Same with Pokemon players or Nintendo. Me personally, I say Nintendo heads, period. They're going to buy the next, when they bring out the Switch 3 in less than a year or two, they're going to buy the Switch 3. It's just going to happen, realistically. They're going to buy it. And these are the gamers that, you know, they don't move the needle for, you know, changing the industry. But the gamers that do are the ones that don't buy into the Concords. They don't buy into the, I did a video on the other one, where it was literally like the whole aspect of the game was like being politically correct. I forget the name of it already because it was that irrelevant.
Not a video game. This is simply propaganda. Now, the reaction to this from gamers has been very clear. People hate this and they're mocking it. But the industry has been propping this up ever since this project was announced. There are countless articles about this nobody studio in their first game describing it as some very important piece of media. You can see Wired saying the plight of migrants is deeply misunderstood. Can a video game help? Here's the answer. No. It's probably going to make things worse. I'm going to be honest with you. The type of stuff we're going to see today, if anything, radicalizes people in the exact opposite direction, okay? So here is the trailer. And the reception to this has been almost exclusively negative. And before we look at some of the comments, I just want to describe something that as a YouTuber, I know.
I mean, realistically, I'm kind of shocked at the like-dislike ratio here. I mean, it's not that different. I mean, you would like to see more likes, and I mean, you're pretty close here, but still, it's not. You got more likes than you have dislikes.
Noticed, and I think it's a little bit odd. The number of likes versus dislikes doesn't really make any sense. Like, for a video with 13,000 views to have 2,100 likes, that's a lot of likes for that number of views. Typically, you see that if the video is like a very hype one from a very well-liked content creator, has like a really built-in audience, and it gets off to a really fast start with the likes. 2,100 on this video on a channel with 75 subscribers is odd, especially when you consider the fact that it still has more likes than dislikes, despite the fact that the entire comment section is negative. You can't find a single positive comment left on
so
the
maybe
video.
they're view botting?
In fact, here's just a couple examples. Comment section will see more numbers than people playing this. This is gold. I wonder if there's any mini games like avoiding being attacked as a child or escape the prison farm once the cartel gets you where they want you. I can't wait for Send Themself DLC.
Jesus
I'm willing to
Christ.
bet the devs are the not in my backyard type of people. Now, this was already bad reception, but a lot of this was fueled because Asmongold.
Oh, I can definitely, because I mean, this happens with like the people that are like defund the police and stuff like that. They're in gated communities. They're in communities that are protected by some form of security. These are the people that are running out and doing these protests because most normal people don't have the time to do that. They don't have the time to go out and like protest all these issues. They have to work and go do their thing every single day. They don't have the time for that bullshit. And they don't have the ability to be like, yeah, let's get rid of the police because I want someone to break into my house. Because it happens. And it's not in the rich neighborhoods. It's in the poor neighborhoods that you see people break in and take shit.
Reacted to this. I mean, think about how much this impacted the
And
reception
middle
of
class.
this game. Someone simply shared a tweet talking about this. He goes and finds this footage from Gamescom, and he gives his commentary. And it's not too surprising what he's saying. He thinks this is propaganda. He thinks this is ridiculous. And so does everyone in his audience.
At Gamescom, they're currently showcasing a game about illegally crossing into the USA and processing the trauma from being a minority with real audio clips from real illegals. I have to see this. I have to see it. I want to watch it. This is content. Wait a minute. Okay, we might have something here. Let's get it.
My pronouns are she, her, and
Yep. I'm one of those same people. I don't. Just wear a name tag at this point. What's your name? Simple as that.
Shit!
Great. So I got a little intro. Thank you. My name's Carla Reyes. My pronouns are she, her. And yeah, I run a little indie studio called Anima Interactive. We're developing Take Us North, which is about migration across the U.S.-Mexico border, which is obviously a very relevant and heavy-hitting topic.
Yeah.
But that's why we found it important to talk about now. And I'll share a little bit about our behind-the-scenes.
So, I'm going to admit, I watched this trailer, this Gamescom thing with her specifically, and they talk about specifically when it comes to the illegal migrants, immigrants, whatever you want to say. I would rather switch out some lazy Americans for some migrants that will work their asses off, because they do. And there's some lazy ass Americans. That's me. Anyways, what the game doesn't go over is some of the worst stuff that's out there as far as like videos and recordings and stories from people that have traveled these trails to come to the United States. And one of the big things that they don't talk about in this video game, or at least they don't talk about it at this event, is that there are on some of the trails to the United States from Latin America, there are trees littered with female undergarments, and some of them are bloodied. And these trees along the way are called rape trees. And it is some of the grape trees, sorry, YouTube. And it's some of the worst footage and some of the most graphic things that that you can see. You don't actually see what happened to these people, but you see what's on these trees, and it's known that in these certain areas that's what happens to these women. And it's not even just women, it's kids. And this game is essentially, yes, it might talk about some of the worst parts of the trail and coming here, as in people die on the way from sheer exhaustion, dehydration, not having enough to eat, dying in rivers. They may talk about it a little bit, but the worst parts of what these people go through will not be portrayed. It will not. And this game is essentially going to glorify what they see as the good parts of it, which is beyond some of the worst propaganda out there.
In the development of this project, because it's very in-house sensitive and complex and nuanced the subject matter is, we want to make sure that we are telling these stories.
Are they going to research the way that illegal migrants steal the identities of American citizens and then claim their benefits illegally? I wonder if they're going to talk about that.
This aspect, yes, it's terrible, but the amount of people that are in the United States that do the same thing, that are United States citizens that steal other people's identities.
I'm someone who always says, do not celebrate your victory until it actually happens. When it comes to fighting this stuff in the gaming industry, there's really no end in sight. Like, these games are going to keep coming out for many, many years to come. But I will say I'm happy to see games like this get absolutely stomped out the second they come out of the ground, right? The second these things sprout up and people discover them, it gets stomped right into the dirt, right where it belongs, because this game is ridiculous. It's just propaganda. They're selling you a message, and everything about this is exhausting, and people are exhausted. Look at the comments on Asmongold's video. I have liberal women fatigue. How bad could it be? My pronouns are she/her. Oh, it's instantly terrible. Your country sucks. Let us in quotes. Press X to be lectured to. Press Y to be emotionally manipulated. That's pretty much what all this is. It's emotional manipulation. They're trying to make you feel bad. They're trying to make you basically throw...
Okay, so here's one thing I will point out about these comments. No photo. Anime picture. Not even sure what that is. No picture. Anime.
All of your logic out the window, and they want you to just empathize with the story they're selling you. That's pretty much all they can do in this situation. But yeah, the debate surrounding this stuff in the United States, you'll see the most insane amount of emotional manipulation ever. But anyways, Asmongold's reaction kicks off a lot more people discovering this, obviously, and this began kind of the nuking of all the related accounts and pages, beginning with the video from Gamescom that he reacted to. They privated that video instantly, and as always with this stuff, if you are truly proud of what you're creating, even if someone discovers it who doesn't like it, you would still stand by it, right? It's more eyes on your game. Wouldn't that be a thing you could turn into something good? Wouldn't you be proud of the extra attention if you really believed in your product? But that's not what happened. They instantly started hiding. And you would see this interaction here where in this description of the situation, Asmongold says you could say they self-deported, and then Elon Musk.
I think he edited this comment to, you could say they self-deported or what was it? Hold on. What was it? Asmond. Jeez. Asmongold's racist. Is he? Dear God, Asmon. Is it this one? Why am I following Zach? No. Is it this one? Oh, what was... I know he made a comment the other day with something related to, you could say they self-deported or aborted or something like that. I don't know. I'd have to find it.
Would reply to that saying, is Microsoft really funding this company? And Asmongold says, I'm actually not sure. I don't think it's direct funding, but maybe from a VC that's a couple levels of removal from Microsoft instead. Most cynical evaluation funded by a group that works with someone at MC/Xbox to launder their dumb ideas without damaging the Microsoft brand. Of course, they have some affiliation with the game, Microsoft that is, and really, the name alone is enough, and I wouldn't be surprised at all if Microsoft was funding this company in one way or another. It seems like that is the very obvious reality, and nobody should be shocked by this because Microsoft is an incredibly woke company. They've funded small indie studios like this before with propaganda like this. It's not surprising whatsoever, the prospect of Microsoft funding this game in one way or another. But there's a lot of questions that need to be answered, a lot of things that need to be looked at, beginning with the Kickstarter page. You might have noticed it raised $56,000. It's fully funded. There were 585 sentient human beings who saw an illegal migrant simulator and said, yup, I want in, to the tune of $56,000. Based on the number of backers and the number of money they've raised, it's like an average of $100 per donation. Like, that's insane, dude. Like, I'm in the wrong business. I should start coming up with stupid ideas like this and starting a Kickstarter. Honestly, if you want a good Kickstarter, someone should get basically the opposite version where you play as ICE or Border Patrol. That might be a nice business venture for some game dev out there who wants to make a name for themselves. But there's a lot more going on. So you start looking at Anima Interactive. This is the indie studio that is...
You could do the ICE simulator. And you could do DLC packs. For different types of weapons and shit that you use with ICE. Change your vehicles. Add different cities. Yo, we're gonna drop next week. We're gonna drop the Chicago pack.
Working on this, it's their first project, and as you can see, they describe themselves as socially conscious indie game developers. Yeah, that's awesome. And down here they say, we're a small but mighty team of artists, storytellers, and activists. An activist. They don't even hide it. Normally with the other studios, they try to pretend like they're not activists. They just say, yeah, we have activists in our ranks. But they say the development team behind Take Us North represents over 15 countries, including Argentina, Colombia, blah, 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 blah. And then they say our team is over...
Oh my, I hate this term. Hate it. BIPOC.
50% black, indigenous, people of color, and over 60% female/non-binary. Why do I care? Is this going to produce a good game or not? Does the number of non-binaries in your studio affect how good the game is? Why are you telling me this? I don't care. Like, this is what the average person thinks when they see this stuff. If your best quality is your diversity, you're probably not going to make a very good product, right? But when you start looking at the the Kickstarter, things just don't add up, man. What is this? There's many different tiers and rewards for your donations, and there's this big one right here, the North Star Pack, for $5,000. You can get a special invitation to real-world research trips and /or visit a migrant shelter. These people are like pawns to them. They're like circus animals. I mean, what are they going to say? Like,
we're going to take you to Alligator Alcatraz with us.
Go, you give us $5,000, then you can look at the migrants and throw peanuts at them if you want. Like, this is so weird. This is the weirdest thing I've ever seen in my life. Like, they're taking it into real life. It's not enough that they're having this simulator. No, they're going to show you what's happening in real life, which also sounds potentially very dangerous. But also, there is a very interesting aspect here where they're interviewing migrants. Now, that's something that normally you're allowed to do with the First Amendment. Like, you can interview illegals, like there's nothing wrong there. But the second you start facilitating anything that helps with their illegal entry into the country, that's breaking the law. So they're skating on some really thin ice to begin with here. I don't know why they're admitting all this. And apparently also it's being incorporated in their games as well, like some of their dialogue and stuff. Very, very shaky territory right there. But also you can see this individual. She is the one from the Gamescom video that Asmongold reacted to. And you can see Take Us North creative director Carla Reyes walking along trails in the Sonoran deserts, carrying artifacts left behind by migrants. Now, she's been having a rough couple of days.
Artifacts, bags, women's undergarments, anything like that, I'm assuming? Or did you skip the rape trees?
It's the creative director, and we're going to talk about her in just a second, but there's a lot of nuking of accounts right now, as pointed out by Smash JT here. Basically, everything associated with this game has gone off the grid. The website.
It's dead. It's
gone.
dead.
They privated their own website. Anima's Twitter account nuked. The creative director's account, Carla, nuked. All their social medias, including Instagram as well. Everything's gone. And as he points out, and I agree, again, if you're proud of what you're creating, why are you hiding? Why are you nuking all of your accounts because people are actually looking at what you're doing now? Like, it's a pretty bad sign for them. But the more you dig into these people, the crazier it gets. So we have the Carla Reyes, creative director of the game. There's a lot going on with her. So looking at her accounts here, she is someone with wings. Now, if you don't know wings, that is a Sweet Baby Inc. collaborator, a company that works with them. It is pushing the same agenda as them, so that's interesting. Once again, it always comes together in one form or another. Sweet Baby Inc. is always involved with everything, and we're going to get more direct connections to Sweet Baby in just a second. But also, curiously enough, if you look at her work history here, she worked as a product manager for 3 years with who else but Visa. Now, if you've been paying attention to the channel over the past month and a half, we've talked a lot about Visa and MasterCard. Those are payment processors that groups like Collective Shout have been putting pressure on, and in
Collective Shout has been pretty quiet on the Roblox situation.
in turn, the payment processors are putting pressure on places like Steam and itch.io and trying to get them to remove what they deem as problematic content, problematic games, with the threat of removing their payment processing services, which would basically take away their ability to make any money. So, again, another connection established here, and it goes even deeper. You can see from her other jobs, she was a product manager and designer at Niantic, as well as a product manager at Square Enix, which again, these companies have dealt with their own waves of being accused of virtue signaling and trying to get into woke stuff and all that. So again, another connection.
What is Niantic? Like Niantic, I know from. What are you doing, little cat? Niantic, I know from Pokemon.
Into the industry, and then it goes even further. So we have this Women in Gaming breakfast event here. How gaming is driving positive global change, where Carla Reyes is there alongside representatives from MasterCard. How many connections can we get? People like anyone defending this, the games journalists, all those who I'm sure will be whipping up a frenzy about the backlash this game is getting. They will tell you you're insane for seeing these connections. But no, it's not a conspiracy. It's nothing crazy. It's right in front of you all the time. The payment processors, the consulting firms, they all are just kind of a band working together and pushing their own agenda. I think it's so obvious. It's right in front of your face.
And they're trying to
but
silence
keep
the
going,
gamers,
ladies
to be
and gentlemen.
honest.
Apparently, too, as pointed out by Savvy here, a former Obama worker is a part of the development of this game. A game dev here by the name of Mark DeLaura. He was a former employee of the Obama administration. Yes, we have an administrative connection at this point. It's actually insane. Let's keep going. As pointed out by Madam Savvy again. There's another connection, this time right to a Sweet Baby Inc. employee, this at Lego Butts individual. This is a Sweet Baby Inc. employee, and you might...
I'm sorry. This name is sus.
remember this person. It's been maybe like a year since we talked about this person, but when everyone started paying attention to Sweet Baby Inc., they started looking at the employees and their unhinged social media posts, and this guy had a million of them, saying crazy stuff about Jews, and also he was dropping slurs left and right, which really only matters because he's a part of Sweet Baby, who's trying to like virtue signal about diversity and all this stuff. But also he has all these comments about white males, saying, pay me to shoot down your white male lead game ideas. Had a nightmare that I was a white male gamer. Yes, this is the person who's preaching about diversity and inclusion. Shocking. There's that connection right there. Here's another one, and this one is just like, I don't even know what to say at this point. They had an event.
Oh, you gotta say, Anita Sarkeesian. That's the only connection you need.
Carla Reyes was alongside Anita Sarkeesian. Now, in case you're not familiar with that name, she was the one who started the original Gamergate back in 2014, trying to basically sanitize and censor the gaming industry, mainly complaining about attractive female characters, and she was trying to paint this picture that the gaming industry and gaming culture was a threat to women, to the point where she literally grifted her way all the way to the United Nations. Yes, the United Nations listened to this woman talk about video games and human rights. Absolutely insane. So seeing all of this, it's not surprising This individual just nuked everything they have on social
Damn.
media. They've gone completely.
Is she still nuked? Let's see. Oh, wow. Is that her account, though? Oh, 121. All right. There's no way this is her. Oh wow, she like deleted.
Silent. I think the only account that any of these parties still have up are on what place, you guess? Blue Sky.
I was about to say
Because, of
Blue
course,
Sky
the
or
echo
Threads.
chamber of Blue Sky is always there to coddle them whenever they face any sort of criticism. So they're keeping that one for now. But yeah, that's going to do it for this situation. Very wild game, studio, and all the connections with it. Pretty wild stuff. But as always, feel free to share your thoughts about today's topics in the comment section down below. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll see you next time.
Wonderful video, Mr. Rev. I'm gonna link your original video in the chat. Go ahead and like it, share it, comment. Make sure Rev gets that viewer acknowledgement. Do all that. Subscribe, like, comment. Make sure he gets that view. Make sure. I'm watching you. But propaganda games need to go. That's not what we're here for. We're here for great characters, a great story, a great UI, and to get rid of pay to win. Nobody wants that except for sad, pathetic players. But we're going to end it there tonight, guys. I appreciate everybody stopping by, hanging out. Another shout out to Dubby for sending their items to me, and appreciate them partnering with me. Hopefully I don't make you guys look bad. I'm trying not to. I'm not politically correct, but I'm also not an idiot. But I thank you all for hopping by, coming in. Make sure you go shoot over to Dubby.com when you need your hydration, you need your energy, and you need that focus, whether it be on video games or just on a day-to-day task. Go pick up you some Dubby. Use code IMP13 to get 10% off your purchase. And get your mind right, hydrate, and you have a great Friday. Remember, 3-day weekend coming up.